from the podcast, Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk. It's Grant's Rants Small Talk. Real Housewives of New York City Rundown.
Let the ranting begin. Thank you for joining us and returning to the Real Housewives of New York City Rundown. We're talking about season 12, episode 12, Eat, Drink, and Be Scary. And joining me is Erin Martin from Pink Shade and Hey Bunkie. Welcome back, Erin.
Hey, Grant. I'm so happy the New York bitches are back in our lives. I'm so happy to talk to you about this. Can't wait.
Yeah, this was a no-brainer. I was like, who haven't I heard from on this podcast in a while? And I was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, get Erin on this show. So I just, got ahead of it, got booked you. Thanks for coming on. I mean, we are very like-minded. I love talking with you. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Let's start with some of the this kind of we don't need to go into our big feelings about everything, but Tinsley is gone and she's chosen the fairy tale route, not the legend route, according to Leah. That wasn't shade, but it was kind of an odd comment to make. But how did you feel about Tinsley's send off? That's what I want to know.
I never got to talk about this because I didn't do a regular recap with my buddy Brandon Alvarado the very last time New York Housewives aired. And so we're going to be catching up on it next week on the Pink Shade podcast. But I got to tell you, I was weirdly more sad than I thought I would be with Tinsley's send off because it was so, I don't know, it was such a letdown. The women were all such assholes to her. And then, I mean, she rode up in this car and her mom was crying and they just had this screenshot of her in the car being driven away, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like we're sending her to a camp or so, like a bad camp. It was just very strange, and I felt her absence this week when they came back. I really did.
I did feel her absence. To me, I thought that the send-off was more positive, only because usually a lot of these women get thrown off the show at the reunion. We never hear from them again, or they're made to look so bad. We all hate them, and we're ready for them to go. So I don't know. I feel like I can't think of many exits that people have had that have been at least in a positive way, where they're moving on in a new direction. Yeah. I can't think of it at least within the last couple of seasons. Usually it's against their will. They're thrown off the show and dumped, and then end up on WeTV.
Exactly. Which I love. I love me some Love After Lockup on WeTV. You know what, though? When you compare something like this to the Lisa Vanderpump just disappearing into thin air mid-season, I do enjoy the proper send-off. And Tinsley is a woman who would need a proper send-off. It definitely fit her. It fit her storyline. But it just made me sad. I don't know. I'm why was I so moved by that? I never thought she was really a top tier housewife. I never thought of her as central to anything. I hate how Dorinda has been treating her this season. It's disgusting to me. And then, but I wanted to see her fight back, and we just won't see that. She's just exiting stage left.
The thing is that she's supposed to be at that reunion, so I'm hanging out for it. I think that there's still going to be some words exchanged. Yeah, I saw something. I don't know if it was on Watch What Happens Live or on Andy's Twitter or something. But I think we are. I'm of the belief we will see her again. Now we're gonna have her probably Skype in, so who knows how involved she'll be. She's not the most vocal person, and Andy doesn't bother to follow up with anything. So I mean, I don't know if we'll get 6 sentences or 6 minutes, but we'll see.
Grant, after Andy's Below Deck reunion this year, I am not holding out any hope for him actually hosting a good reunion ever again. I was so turned on him after that. I mean, I know that he is who he is and he doesn't watch all the shows and, he just hosts these reunions, sometimes flying blind. But I don't know if you watched regular Below Deck, not Mediterranean, regular Below Deck last season, but it was a disgusting floating garbage barge of misogyny and near assault on some of the women. And Andy didn't address any of it at the reunion he should have.
Yeah, I watched the reunion actually because I had heard such bad press about it regarding Andy, and he then went on Twitter and was like, "Oh, just wait, it's going to get more intense the second part," and nothing changed.
Nope.
And so I was like, okay, because I'm the only voice out there that's semi-critical of him. So I was like, I want to see what everyone's really upset about. So yeah, I mean, people are figuring it out. He's not the king of Bravo. He oversees the housewives, and that's it. So I don't know why he has to do everything else, but that is what it is.
Agree. I'm with you.
Let's talk about this show. I'm having some trouble because we're watching Halloween. Now, Halloween was 9 months ago. I mean, I can only care. I can care within a window of time, probably 6 months or less. After that, I mean, it's irrelevant. I could not. Now, I mean this seriously. I could not tell you what I did on Halloween. I have zero memory of it. It's not because I was out drinking, because I don't think I even acknowledged it because I've been so damn down. I don't think anything happened. So I don't care about their Halloween. And then on top of it, we're getting these quarantine interview looks, which I'm dying to get into with you. But now it's also showing me that, like, these women are now commenting on things from 6 to 9 months ago. So it's still irrelevant.
I know. These quarantine interview looks. Okay, number one, WTF is going on with Dorinda, her Beetlejuice backdrop. I assume she's in the Berkshires. I'm like, what? What is this? What is happening?
Like a VW van, like in the backyard. Like it was a very odd look.
She was so creepy. And she was actually the scariest thing about this Halloween episode. Her Zoom call, talking head confessional was the scariest thing about the entire episode. And then Luann is looking kind of crazy, and hers too. And her microphone doesn't even seem to be on. It's like she's talking into a laptop microphone. I'm like,
did you not
furnish these people with proper equipment? Like, even our little janky podcasts, we have like a microphone.
Let me tell you.
What the hell?
I just wrapped a Netflix series for Space Force, and I was very concerned about the audio because we had to do it remotely. And it was like the first thing. Buy these people microphones. You want to have them on, they need to sound good. Why can't these people get proper light kits? I've been screaming about this forever. Now, this is nothing new. I don't understand. I do this for a living. If I can figure it out, certainly these people who are probably getting paid 3 times as much, if not more, can definitely figure it out. And I'm unhappy with the audio quality. I am. And Ramona, I don't know why these people chose these locations. Can't a producer come? I'm usually on there asking people, can you move? Can you go to another location? Let's get a better set of headphones, please. You're going to make the effort. Ramona sitting in front of a refrigerator is the worst place that you could do an interview.
She's sitting in front of the refrigerator where she has all of her guacamole, and Avery is walking behind her, yelling at her during some of her segments, which I kind of enjoyed. I'm not going to lie. Sonia, who got trapped in some air quotes spa during quarantine, has a brand new face. She looks fabulous. Her Zoom confessional is amazing.
I think she has new teeth, too. Did she finally settle for the dentures? We know the teeth were falling out. Did she finally just settle for the dentures? I'm hoping.
Oh, my God. I forgot her tooth popping out at random dance parties. And she'd be like, my tooth. You know what? She probably did just get all fake teeth. And good for her if she did. She looks amazing. She looks better in her Zoom call than she did in all of her professional edited interviews before.
I don't disagree. Yeah, because even like I know they were in Halloween makeup, but she looked rough. She looked rough in this episode.
She is my queen, though. Her just like gnawing on turkey legs and screaming at people while like meat is flying out of her mouth. I'm like, oh my God, Sonia, I will never quit her. She is amazing on every level. Showing up to parties sloppy drunk. She just gives no shits. I mean, she never apologizes for it. It's so embarrassing. Everyone's so cringing at her, but she just doesn't, she never cares. Like, I would die 1,000 deaths if I were filmed doing the things she does. And she doesn't.
No. And I'm telling you, people are calling for her and Ramona's removal. I don't know if we need her to be removed. I don't know. I really don't think we need
it.
How
dare they? No.
I don't think I don't think she's that bad of a person. I mean, we've seen worse. I mean, just look at Nene and Lisa Vanderpump and Kyle. And I mean, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, like, I can't think of people who are that awful.
Teresa. Yeah. I mean, Vicky Gunvalson. Like,
Tamra.
You cannot.
I love that. But
Tamra too. I know, but you cannot put Sonia in that category. She is not. No. She's not mean and vicious. She is sloppy and messy and troubled, and she puts her foot in it every chance she gets. And but at the same time, I don't think she's not planning and, manipulating things behind the scenes and doing like crazy stuff like that. She's not.
It's such a double standard because other housewives like Lisa Rinna are doing all of those things and people celebrate it. So like, I don't get it. Do you know what I'm saying? She is
I
doing the
do.
manipulating. She is bad to her friends. I think she's a lousy person, but yet people celebrate it.
She's just got that glitter on her. I don't know what it is.
I'll never. There's a certain Beverly Hills haze that people watch that show through. I'll never get it.
True.
But anyway, let's talk a little more about this because Dorinda is still offended that she basically, by going to do that social media post somewhere in New Jersey or wherever. Now
it was like in Long Island. It was the same dude who threw Melissa Gorga's hideous 40th birthday party on Real Housewives of New Jersey this year.
Well, then he's lost all credibility with me then. Yeah, no, I don't see what the big deal is with him. But Ramona, basically, I mean, did she get this party paid for or what?
Oh, of course she did. Just like Melissa Gorga did. I mean, they are just advertising his business all over Bravo on every franchise that's near him, which is New Jersey and New York. This guy is like a walking Tim Burton character. I don't even know where he came from. And Ramona's like, oh, he's the most popular. He's the best. He's the best of the best. They pull up to some like brick building. It looks like where they would sell mattresses or something. I'm like, what? And I don't know. I saw him on New Jersey this year and now I've seen him again. And I kind of understand, even though Dorinda is being a full frontal monster this year, I kind of understand her point. She's like, we were just brought here to like give him pictures for press, for social media. And I'm like, exactly. But then I'm also like, have you met Ramona? Do you know who Ramona is? Like, of course she did this to you.
And let's not forget that these women, I'm sure Dorinda and Sonia, have management. And they have to think like, as my manager or agent or whoever I report into and makes money off of my likeness, are they going to want me taking these pictures? Like, I feel like that puts them in a position too, where now they're using their marketability for only the help of Ramona's birthday party. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right. I know it's all a business. And I feel like we just need to break fourth wall more. They've been doing it a little more in Beverly Hills, which I actually really enjoy this season. Mm-hmm. They need to do it more on this show too.
Yeah, I mean, no one left watching these shows is an idiot. We all know what it's like. We all see it, so just lean into it. I don't want to be manipulated. I'm sick of being manipulated by everything. So now
I know, especially 2020. It's like 2020 is the year to get real people, even the housewives. Like, we're all here for it. Let's all just get real.
Yeah. Exactly. I totally agree. What else happened in this episode? Rory and Ramona. Rory's some matchmaker. Ramona, we learned that she dated a billionaire, and somehow this was a problem because he said, "What are you living in a $5 million apartment?" Or I don't know what were we supposed to be impressed that she dated a billionaire? Was that the idea?
I think the idea was then her, segueing into the conversation, or to the monologue rather, since it's Ramona, about her just being too rich to date regular people, which is like such a Ramona monologue, where she was like, I have everything I need. I just want a best friend, but I don't want people to be intimidated by, they haven't even seen my Hamptons house yet. Like, I'm Ramona. And
age is only a number. Look at me. Age is only a number. Ugh.
She's such an asshole.
She'll never get it.
All reports of Ramona in like out in the wild run-ins where people have actually met her are terrible. Like, I've never heard a good review of a run-in with Ramona. Yeah, and so I can only imagine what we don't see, versus the horrible behavior that we see.
Yeah. No, I have no interest. I mean, I don't have many interest. I don't have much of an interest in meeting any of these people, to be honest with you, but especially Ramona. No, they've had so many people blowing smoke. I don't need it. They think they're so much larger than life as it is. I don't even like to contribute to it. Especially Ramona. She needs some humbling. She doesn't need any more celebration.
Oh, absolutely. And like, her dumb ass is out there spreading COVID around also. Have you seen Leah's Instagram story or post, or I don't know what it was, but she was saying how she is disgusted by some of her castmates. It was last week. And she was fully speaking about Ramona. She's like, because they have been spending their time down in Florida doing all this shit. They're coming up here. We've been doing the hard work in New York City of trying to like keep everyone safe. And now they're spreading it around up here. And I was like, oh my God, you are taking her down.
They're all turning on her. I'm dying to see the reunion because I don't know who's left on her side. We'll see.
Even Elise is turning on her. Elise is like, you're an opportunist who only wants to cry on my shoulder when things are bad. And when things are good again, she wants nothing to do with her. And I'm like, go Elise. Yeah.
Well, Ramona will never take her seriously because she'll say, well, I'm the one that got you on this show. I got you in this group of girls. So there's nothing, she'll never, ever to fall on the sword for that.
15 minutes.
What else? I want to talk about a few other things. Sonia's updating her LinkedIn page. She's now the chief lifestyle officer at Century 21. How do you get that job? Does it pay?
She is so amazing. She's so delusional. My one thought of Sonia every time I say her name or picture her in my head is her laying in her bed with her dirty underwear and like all the baggage of her life all around her while tarps are surrounding her. And I'm like, that is who she is all the time. Bethany used to call her out about like, wait, okay, like this is your business, also this, and this is your title. And like, come on, Sonia, like get real. Nobody's calling her out on it right now. And so she is just freewheeling crazy ass Sonia. And I kind of love it.
I love it. I'm here for it. This is the RHONY that I know and love. So sure, bring it on. What'd you think of this Halloween party? The theme being voodoo and priestess. I don't know what the theme was. How do you even dress for that? That's not even fun. I'm sorry. I didn't care for the theme.
It was like kind of messed up. I know it didn't really make any sense. And I'm like, okay. Like, I guess it's better than Great Gatsby, which we've seen like on every single Housewives franchise ever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was kind of okay with something different. But then Ramona walks in looking like the evil queen in Snow White, and Sonia was dressed up in some like really bad medieval times situation that Ramona had gotten her. Leah was amazing. She looked amazing.
She looks great.
I was like totally like, okay, that's a look. But I don't know. These women, they just kind of don't know like with Luann's Luann's whole new show, guys, Marry F Kill. It's all the rage. It's the game that only happened in 2020. I'm like, you guys are like 10 years too late to everything.
Ramona is the absolute worst, though, with this, because she claims that she sent everyone a text. She wants to get together earlier. Now, when someone is hosting an event, I use every minute of that event. Like, that is so rude. Who are you to move the time to make it easy for you to be able to slip out when it's time for you to go to a private table at Omar's? Like, that to me was so gross. If I know that someone is coming to an event, a Christmas party, a birthday, and they have somewhere else to be, don't even bother showing up, because the whole time you're just going to be on your phone watching the time. You don't want to be here, do not come. That's how I feel about her. She should have never showed up.
Thank you. She loves to double and triple book and then talk about, I have 60 friends, I have 50 friends, I don't know, the number's always changing, 70 friends. And I'm like, those are just people you book. Those are people you triple book most of the time. Those aren't like your good girlfriends. And when you show up to something, you need to be there, especially, you know what? Let's just break the fourth wall ourselves if you're getting paid for it. This is the scene you're getting paid for, Ramona. Quit talking about the other you need to do.
Yeah, the social climbing and everything is exhausting with her. But I'd be so pissed if I planned something and paid for a space and set a time, and like an hour before you're going to show up early so you can say that you were there, but then when everyone arrives, you want to split. That doesn't count either. That's more of a nuisance. Just don't show up. Yeah, yep. No, that really. I'm big about plans. I'm a real stickler for plans, so that was a total turnoff. Jill Zarin showed up. She's engaged. I'm surprised that she's engaged. I don't know. We just saw her and Bobby for so long. I'm surprised that she's rushing. What is she going to be married for?
I don't know. I mean, she seems like the marrying kind. I think she really likes to be in a couple from what we saw with her and Bobby. I mean, we know they had a true love, it seemed like, through the TV screen. We don't know them, obviously. I can picture her getting married quickly afterwards. She seems like she likes to be part of a couple. Mm-hmm. You know, that doesn't surprise me, actually. I was glad that they put on her little, title thing under her face, like Jill Zarin, as opposed to Dorinda's friend, which they did her dirty like that, like last year, the year before. I was like, what? We know who this is. We're not new here. Excuse me, Bravo.
Well, this year I read it, though. This time it said Luann's friend.
No, it did not. I thought it said Jill Zarin.
Because I looked, it said it, at least in the screen cap that I saw.
What? Am I
Because I remember, I saw it on Twitter.
Oh, okay. You know what? Okay, listeners, tell us what happened. Maybe I was hallucinating and I just thought in my
Yeah.
head, Jill Zarin.
It's so unnecessary.
Oh,
So
they do her
unnecessary.
dirty.
I know.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
know she
know.
was very subdued. She was like in the background for a
Yeah,
lot.
I
I thought
figured
she would get
as
more
much.
into it because she's so thirsty. She's always wanting to come back on. I thought she would try to get into a fight with someone, but she didn't. So good for her. But I wish her happiness. I hope she's okay.
What do you think of Ramona pulling Sonia and Dorinda to the side, saying they're the most important to her?
She's such a BS artist. I
I,
mean, even
God,
they
don't
know
give
it.
me
They're
that.
like, oh,
Oh
whatever.
yeah. Oh,
They
please.
just, I know. They're just like, Ramona is nuts. When Elise said that, all the streets in Ramonaville are one way, I was like, that needs to be made into a bumper sticker, a t-shirt, a hat, a coffee mug, everything. That is completely true. That is the most accurate description of her being a friend with anyone. It's a one-way street. She's like,
And
what can I get out of it?
yeah, and she, for someone who's so close with Dorinda, she said Dorinda's jealous of her because she has no friends and she's having a birthday party with 80 people. Now, I thought it was 60. Now it's 80. How do you have all
It's
these friends?
80, it's 80, it's 60. Next week it's 50.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. She just wants people to know that she, has a lot of connections out there and she invites them all to her. And why is she calling it, Grant? Why is she calling it a coming out party? What the is wrong with
I said this last week, coming out single. Bitch, you've been divorced since 2015. It's almost been 6 years at today that
I
you've
know.
been single.
This is like you and I throwing a coming out podcaster party. It's like you've been
Yeah.
doing it for like 4 or 5 years. I'm doing it for
Yeah.
3. Like, you know what? It's not news. It's not news to anyone.
It's so
just,
stupid.
it's kind of like when she did that whole like 13-year vow renewal, or I don't remember the specific year, but it was just like some random year. And people were just like, you're fucking crazy. But of course we'll come again because we're being paid to.
Yeah, it's a
She
typical
just
story.
she loves a title for a party. She loves pretending there's a reason for things. There's not. And she also loves really making her birthday like a national holiday, even though it used to be Bethany's birthday and Ramona's, Sonia's, and Dorinda's all around the same time. She just likes to make it about her.
Right, because remember with Sonia with the cake, they had to give her a separate cake. They
Yep.
surprised her at that restaurant. Yeah, I don't need to see the birthdays every year. I'm kind of tired of the same thing. It needs some, Now we're going to be going to the Berkshires. I just need to, which I enjoy, but I don't know. I need to see more of the city, which I've been bitching about. We haven't seen enough of the city itself. I like the traditions, but like we need a little bit more of their life in the city and not necessarily the cabaret. That's not what I mean.
Please God, no. We have suffered enough.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the Berkshires though. I really do.
I do
I'm
too.
looking
It's a great tradition, but maybe it doesn't need 3 episodes. Maybe we could just get 2. I don't know. I just like let's mix it up, create some new traditions in between. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
But,
I know. I would like to see, you know what? I think we're really yearning to see more of the city because we're also locked up, and we're also like, in our worlds just vibrating with anxiety about the outside world for so long now that it's fun to see, simpler times when you could just go to a restaurant and, kiss on both cheeks and not catch some like communicable disease that's going around the world.
at this point in the episode, Dorinda, Luann, Leah, they're all disliking and hating on Ramona's antics. Sonia is so angry with those dolls.
She's like in the ear, in the rear.
They've all had it.
They've all had it.
What else? Ramona's her strategy. This is her strategy: is to totally ignore it, and just really just not going to feed into it. But too late because Dorinda has to have this toast. Basically, just standing there publicly insulting Ramona and her character, and with Sonia screaming and echoing everything in the background. This is real New York Housewives at its best.
Totally. I know, just like we always say, I mean, if this one scene would have happened in Beverly Hills, it would be the storyline for the entire season. Yep. It would be like, Dorit and everyone clutching their pearls and talking about that one toast that it would be all they talked about. And in New York, they just fully insult each other all of the time. All of the time. Just like, I'm going to insult you in public and we're just going to move on from here next week and do something else. It moves so quickly, which I love. And Dorinda has been just a horrible monster to Tinsley this season. But I love when she focuses her wrath on someone deserving, like Ramona. And watching Ramona just sit there, not blinking, with her crazy eyes staring kind of left of center.
Yes.
Just zoning out completely, pretending like she's not even there in her crazy, weird Snow White evil queen outfit. I'm like, oh my God, I love seeing her tortured. I do.
And she was, I mean, to the point where even Elise had to come over and see if she was okay. I mean, I kind of like, I am of the school, like, Ramona will never change. You can't even get her to think differently. She would never do any self-reflection or anything like that. Like, I mean, if she hasn't done it by now, 12 seasons deep. So, like, it is kind of what it is. I mean, I don't feel too bad because she's not internalizing anything. She's not reflecting on those words.
This isn't breaking her. This isn't going to put her out of commission. She's a cockroach. She's a cockroach, as Melissa Gorga would say. I mean, she will always survive, and she will just be the most base human being afterwards that she was before. She will never change, which is, you know what? That's kind of like what we want in our housewives, when they're resilient, but also kind of awful. And then they have moments of goodness. I mean, she's kind of that perfect combination. I hate to admit that. As a person, again, like you said, I don't want to be involved with her ever.
Yeah.
But watching her is amazing because people can just like fully insult her, and she will just be like shrug her shoulders, and then she'll like fake apologize and move on, and then be selfish and weird again. Yeah.
I had to do a project for like a trivia thing for Real Housewives. So I chose New York and went way, way back. This is not for Grandstands. This is for something else. I went way, way back. And I can tell you that I've watched almost everything all over again. Ramona has had zero character growth. None. She's the same person that you saw at Scary Island, that you saw in where else do they go? London. She's the same person that we've seen over the years. So yeah, no, there's just no movement there. That's
true. She is a rock.
She left the party, and then on the way out, she just kept walking. She cut off this attractive guy. I don't know if you caught this. He was walking, and she just walked right into his path. She's in her own world. So rude. Just, no respect for anyone around her. No.
Oh my God.
Typical.
Final thoughts.
Well, let's get into our final thoughts. Mine is going to be just some general excitement for the Berkshires, but also kind of not, because it's the Berkshires starring Elise. I mean, I think of the great moments we've had there. This year, it's going to be like the five of them and Elise.
That's like Fleetwood Mac, only current references, like starring the drummer. I mean, like what? Like that doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. I think she has just had enough at that point, and it's going to kind of be like Barbara flipping out on their trip last year and how she sort of became central on the trip because she was just so sick of being ignored.
Good point.
Elise is like Barbara 2.0 in that way, although she is more involved with the cast because she does have some, semi-authentic friendships going on. But yeah, I think it's going to be a lot like Barbara's role in the trip last year, like where she's just like, oh my God, you guys are horrible, and like you treat me bad, and like no one ever includes me, and Ramona was supposed to be my friend, and now it's all fake, and we're like, yeah, we know, we get it. Let's hear from the OGs, because we know we're not going to see you again, Elise. I mean, she is not coming back.
No, that's they've always had a hard time with the friend of on the friend ofs on the show. I mean, they've had almost, I think, only 3 over the years. They really can't seem to get anyone to stick. And we're not going to see her again. So I'm not invested in her. Forget it. Like at this point, we already know. We've been in this game too long. We know that there's no future for her. So,
well, my final thought on New York this season is that I hope Dorinda has some kind of breakthrough, but I fear that she won't, based on her social media presence throughout the season, where she's sort of doubling down on her horrendous behavior. I don't want to see her crash and burn in a Siggy Flicker death spiral. I do not want that to happen. I mean, because she was really beloved for a long time. Awful. And now, I know, but she's really doing it to herself. Like, it sucks. I want her to tell us more about the John breakup. I think it's bullshit that she kept that a secret and then called Tinsley out for being so secretive about her relationship. she's shared
Definitely.
nothing about the breakup. And I'm like, oh, okay, hypocrite. So I don't know. All of my thoughts are toward Dorinda and like, where is she going to go from here? Is she just fully going to self-destruct because she's already on that path? Or is she going to somehow come back, maybe at the reunion? I don't know. So those are my final thoughts. And you guys can find me on any platform that you listen to. The podcast is Pink Shade. And I also have a Pink Shade Patreon where I do extra interviews and fun bonus content. And I have a Patreon called Hey Bunkie with Mary Payne Gilbert, my co-host, who recaps all of the shows.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Well, yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on the pod, and be well. And I love you guys for listening. More rants and the main podcast, everything will continue. Thank you guys for checking it out. Be well.
This has been Grant's Rant Small Talk, Real Housewives of New York City Rundown. Want more? Join the full conversation on Grant's Rant Hollywood Talk podcast.